Morning. It's Thursday morning. I think it's about 8 o'clock, and I'm just coming from a morning sessions this morning, the early risers, and I am twiddling my thumbs about what to eat for breakfast. Now, there's a lot of controversial talk, myths, old wives' tales about when you should have breakfast, how much you should have. You should eat like a king in the morning, pauper at night. You should skip breakfast and fast till lunch. Now, first things first is breakfast is about breaking your fast, okay? Because obviously when you sleep, you fast. When you wake up, you are still fasting until you have the first bit of sustenance in the morning, whether it's straight away, whether it's 2 hours later. It doesn't really matter what time you eat. What matters is the total calorie intake of your day. Now, you can have this in 3 meals, you can have it in 5 meals, you can have it in 10 meals if you want. If you're hitting a certain calorie target, you have to obviously proportion your meals out adequately for the day. Now, how does this work for you? Well, if you're the kind of person that eats little often and that's worked for you, then you'd be better off eating little often, as long as you're in with a calorie deficit to obviously lose the weight. Now, obviously, what is your deficit? You'll have to find out for yourself on FitnessPal. Just log on and obviously get a better idea of what you need to be roughly eating a day. Now, if you're the kind of person that works better, like myself, having bigger meals through the day rather than small and often, then stick to having bigger meals. All right, maybe having 2 bigger meals rather than 5 small ones will obviously, first things first is if haven't got a lot of time, then you're better off having 2 bigger meals rather than 5 smaller meals if it means you have less time. So have big meals. If you if you don't really like to eat straight when you wake up, that's not a problem. You don't have to stress over food when you wake up if that's not what you want to have. It's not something we're going to do. So if it means getting up, sorting the kids out, going to work and having something at work, do that. Now, obviously, then comes a problem of if you skip breakfast and you gorge yourself at lunch, you want to start thinking about have something mid-morning. Now, the key thing to remember here, guys, is that if you wait too long, if you leave yourself hungry all day, and obviously we need to stop the binges from happening. And I find that if you have a bigger meal earlier in the day, you don't eat so much crap in the evening. So if you eat big meals morning and lunch, or afternoon and early evening, you don't end up snacking so much throughout the evening. Because you know what it's like shoveling in crisps when you're watching TV. Before you know it, you've had the whole fucking packet. So if you can't stop at one, have none, I say. All right. So when it comes to the evening, you're watching TV and you think, let me open a drawer and get out the pack of hobnobs. You start with one, and before you know, you've had the whole pack. So if that's the case, you need to start portioning out your meals on a regular basis so you don't gorge in the evenings. Because that's what it's all about. If you are leaving yourself hungry and you're the kind of person that cannot, opens a fridge up when you got a shitload of food and you go, babe, let's get a takeaway, because you can't be asked to eat or cook. All right. So when it comes to meal frequency, eat regularly if it means you're going to be less hungry. If it means if you don't like breakfast, skip breakfast and have some for lunch. If you are better off having 2 bigger meals because it keeps you fuller for longer, do that. As long as you're in a small deficit, you will still lose weight. Okay. Gone are the days when you have to eat before 6 o'clock. Gone are the days when you should have breakfast in the morning because your body will go into starvation mode. It is all utter nonsense. So focus on a daily calorie target and hit that target. However many meals it takes to hit that target, do it. As long as you stop the binging and stop the mindless eating and stop the snacking at work when the staff comes in with the cake because it's your birthday, or if you work in a big office with loads of people, and obviously there's going to be a lot of birthdays involved, and that sweetie drawer, those donuts will be talking to you if you're hungry. So be consistent with your food, and meal frequency is important if you're the kind of person that binges or eats crap because you're hungry and you can't fight willpower, or you have no willpower. All right, and that's another discussion in itself altogether. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, so if you are hungry, eat. If you're not hungry, skip breakfast and have a decent meal at lunch. And obviously don't leave yourself too long to the point when you get ravenous and you can't control your hunger. All right, guys, that's my 2 pence today, and I'll speak to you more about willpower on another video. Take care. Have a great day.